Okay, I pressed it. And we're live. Hello. And
Hello.
Keith, you want to take it away?
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
I see on the forums, keithandthegirl.com/forums. We're also on Reddit under Keith and the Girl. The Guy 2009. That's what his mama named him. The Guy 2009 says regarding Gastor Almonte, yesterday's guest. So we could just call best new guest right now, right?
I felt that way, right? The response of everybody, the warmth.
Everybody loved Gastor. I did too. I thought I was on his energy drink, to be honest. But it's very fast. It's very exciting. But when it comes to how do we name best new guest as an award, it's got to be on the forums under the awards thread. That's the only way I can keep track of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's not going to get his due if you don't take the time. I got to go with the audience, or I give every guest best new guest, and that'd be out of control.
True, because people have mentioned it, let's say in the chat and in email, but no one officially nominated him. And if you remember earlier this year, Bobby Condon came with that same feeling, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't nominate Gastor, all right.
Fiona writes, I forgot what episode it was, but when Kenda was describing action movies on the wrap-up show, I nearly died. I want to add that to the KATG nominations for this year. I don't know where that is. We do 6,000 hours a week. Honestly, I kind of remember like Kenda saying it's the guy version of rom-coms, and it was great, but I totally forget there's 365 days in a year. You got to take a second if it really moves you personally. Something that made you cry, something that made you wet yourself, something that made you laugh your balls off, something that made you cringe especially. Make sure you take the time. The award shows are so fun. Go to keithandthegirl.com/awards right now if you want to see what we're talking about. It says Keith and the Girl began March 7th, 2005, and for 18 years there have been an endless amount of mind-blowing, hilarious, angry, sad, and simply insane moments. Each year since 2008, we've compiled the segments that the audience noted as their favorites and recorded the KATG nominations. These episodes let you hear your favorite segments from the year's favorite guests. The audience then vote for their number one picks. The winners episode lets you hear the phone calls that were made to that year's champions. 15 years of awards, 30 extended episodes. You can see at keithandthegirl.com/awards. And there's so much shit. I mean, even just last year, remember we had the Rod Morrow ads, Lethargic Reds, Policy Idiot, Worse Help, Rod These Shoes, Inaudible, Goodbye Spoiled. You know, he finds out the ads we had and then finds the competition, I guess. Last year was Tony Pizza. I mean, can you imagine if we weren't celebrating Tony Pizza? We celebrate it to this day. Tony Pizza. There was this show with Christian Finnegan when we read somebody's letter about the earlier show, the show before that, saying how good that was. And Christian's like, there's nothing going to be special about this show, but I'm going to do my best. Meanwhile, I know I'm going to talk about the death of my mom. The songs throughout the years, B. Jason's great works. If I may brag, my version of Cats in the Cradle regarding my dad.
What about, there should be a category this year for best sex, and it should be just like all Newsy nominations.
Right. Scariest sex.
Best sex, Newsy nominations, and Micah and Tim.
Right. Most eye-opening sex. How about that?
Oh, that's great. Yes.
You come in your hand when you finish. Okay.
You will never get over that.
No, I'm such a prude. Anyway, KATG, the most wonderful time of the year. Make sure you go to the forums, keithandthegirl.com/forums. You'll see the thread on top pretty easily of how to nominate. And that's that. Take a look at that. It's very exciting. Let's see. What else could I tell you? This is a letter from Jennifer talking about when on Newsy's VIP show, he takes let's say Newsy was doing a show today. He would look at October 26th and then go through the shows that we've done over 18 years, back in 2005, of what we talked about on October 26th. And, of course, opinions change, thank God. But it is fun to look back. And he brought up the Gunner, somebody that we knew that made multiple tours. I believe it was in Iraq, if I'm not confused. And we were talking about how he was on the show. We interviewed him, and I know when he was in New York, and when he came to New York, he had more problems on a New York City subway scanning people for dangerous activity than he did in Iraq. And I thought that was so interesting. And then it got me talking about the VA, and it got me talking about how America does not take care of its own. And I said, without exaggeration, and I still mean this, if you went to war, you should be taken care of for life back in America. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like the
Yeah.
Hurt Locker. Like the gunner was so fucked up from war, he felt safer going back to war. If this does this damage to your head, you get a house and you get electricity and you get food, and that's it. And we can afford it. I mean, my God, it is a Republican thing, quite frankly, that tell you, stand up for your country and all this. But they're the ones that we have to fight for assistance, and that's crazy. It's crazy that it took a Jon Stewart, a fucking comedian, to get Congress to put money into first responders that were at 9/11. That's insane. And how dare you fucking pussies. This is a letter from Jennifer. I know I've mentioned several times on the forums that I'm a geriatric social worker at the VA in Indianapolis, and while things have gotten better, it still needs so much improvement. The most infuriating thing I've seen is how they do service connection. Now, I'm not sure I understand this 100%, speaking of percentages, but I get the point. They base it both on the injury of how much it affects your body. So the max anyone can get is 100%. I have several guys who would be 500%. So I guess how bad you're fucked up. The most disgusting thing I've seen are actual prisoners of war who had to fight to get an 80% rating. That's how messed up you are. I once looked at a guy who was at 2 concentration camps, one by the Germans, and when he thought he was being saved, it was actually the Russians that snatched him. He survived on grass soup, which is whatever grass mix you can find mixed with water that he could live on. He was given 80% of benefits. I apologized to him and told him how sick I was that he had to fight that hard for 80%. Like he should have had a personal servant to attend to everything he could possibly need. No exaggeration. Yes. There is money associated with service connection. So instead of over $3,000 a month, he only got like $2,000. The people who did the $2,000 a month, and you fought for this country. The people who do the assessments are completely separate from the health part of the VA. I wonder if you should have had to go to, like if you go to war, then you can work for the VA. I mean, thank God this person's around, but right? Like maybe people don't, I mean, it seems like she's alone in being a superhero, kind of.
I think people just are frustrated in their jobs and don't believe that they can fight back. They're just trying to hold on to their own existence.
I've helped many apply for disability, but was told recently not to because it could be a conflict of interest. I still help because I'm not a complete monster. The only way to change this is through Congress. When I say it takes an act of Congress to change something at the VA, I'm not kidding. But if enough people complain, something usually changes. Anyway, I ranted long enough. Thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, it does fucking disgust me. It does disgust me. I see that the Republicans have a new House Speaker. They got rid of Representative Kevin McCarthy as the House Speaker. House Speaker is number 3 to the president. President, Vice President, House Speaker. And now they have this Mike Johnson. They have Representative Mike Johnson. He's a vocal supporter of former President Donald Trump, a key congressional figure in the failed efforts to overturn the 2020 election. But that's our House Speaker now. So
how did that happen?
It is.
It's probably not good that I'm asking now.
How did any of this shit happen?
Right.
An unprecedented trial will begin in Colorado next week to determine if former President Donald Trump is disqualified from returning to the White House because of his role in the January 6th insurrection.
I can't believe he's still running.
He's still running.
How?
Many lawsuits going on, and he's still running. Now one of the court cases will be, can he actually come back and run?
But I can't believe he is. He went to court on criminal charges.
Right.
I mean, he's not new to court systems. People have sued him before, but he's a business guy. We can call him that, right? But crimes against a country, and he's running. He's just running.
Several pending lawsuits are trying to derail his candidacy based on the 14th Amendment. That's
when you're sitting there at work and you're going, I can't change my life. This is just my life. I can't get a better job. I can't get a better situation. No, look at Donald Trump. He believes everything that he wants to. Look at what manifestation fucking powers this man has. I'm still running for president.
U.S. officials who take an oath to uphold the Constitution are disqualified from future office if they engage in insurrection. I think that's the name of this. If they engage in insurrection or have given aid or comfort to insurrectionists.
That's
I'm
like
not a
already
lawyer,
on the
but
law.
I'm not a lawyer, but I read.
It's like he read from there and says, like, he opens up the books and goes, like, let's see if I can get away with this one
Right.
directly. It says, Mimi Cherry is writing, how funny that unprecedented usually means Trump.
Right. Sounds like unprecedented.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know much, but I know fuck you. Did you see Maine had a mass shooting? And that's one guy, two separate places.
I imagine that's the image that I'm seeing of that guy with that really giant gun.
Yes. Yeah. Another
Yeah.
semi-automatic, of course. Maine, Wednesday night, killed at least 22 people at a bar and a bowling alley. They're about 10 minutes apart, these two places.
Fucking Maine. Do you know what I ever hear about Maine? Nothing.
Right.
You know what I hear about Maine? It's too far to go for that much peace, you know? Because I would love to go to Maine. It sounds nice. It sounds like you're at a lighthouse, you stare at some water, you eat some fishy things, little lobster for less than you usually pay for. A couple of white people say hello to you as you pass by, and then you go home. I don't know anything else to do in Maine.
Right.
What? This guy brought a gun to Maine. Listen, if you don't live in the United States of America, did we ever bring up Maine? Do we ever go, those Maynards? Ugh.
Maine is so bland that Stephen King had to make it scary. More than 50 people were wounded in the rampage. This was 7 p.m. Like I said, at least 22 people dead.
How many?
Let's see. At least 22. 14 at a restaurant, and then the rest at a bowling alley. Robert Card, they have him on camera. They didn't find him yet, but they always find these guys for what that's worth. Robert Card, 40 years old. He's a trained firearms instructor. He was an Army reservist. He recently reported hearing voices and threatened to shoot up the military training base where he was stationed.
No.
Oh, all right. Well, it is your
Someone's in
American right to
trouble.
still have a gun.
Fuck.
Card was reportedly committed to a mental health facility over the summer and it was released after a 2-week stay. 2 weeks. That should do it.
Interesting.
You're not even considered sober after 2 weeks. Right?
There's no
yeah, do
tip
30,
for that.
40 days. Yeah.
You have to do 90 meetings in 90 days if you're
Right.
really serious. But yeah. Holy shit.
Lewiston police warned that Card should be considered armed and dangerous. Yeah, because he is. I see
Right.
the picture. He is. Okay. Fucking crazy. And then it's weird that it's at a bar. Like when it's at a public place, you know, sometimes it's at dance clubs, this kind of thing, these shootings. How you got it? I don't know how it doesn't ruin a business forever. Like you got to be so on edge. I remember the Batman shooting, and then I saw the Batman movie sometime after that, and you felt and then this wasn't the theater. I was in New York City, but you felt an uneasiness in the air, and everybody's almost like brave, like we're going on with our lives. You can't stop us. But then somebody walked in, one of the workers, where they walk with a flashlight, and I'm guessing that they have to sign something on the far sides of the walls to say that they checked, you know, almost like checking a bathroom. But he was like really taking long with his flashlight until somebody was like, "You better fucking stop that," because it was a little weird. We were all mumbling just a little bit.
And there's
So
like
when
a
it- so when it's a-
collective thought in that. Like,
Yeah.
we're all thinking we're all nervous, right? Over nothing right now. What was
Right.
your 9/11 joke about Israel? How does
I was thinking maybe who cares about jokes? Who cares about comedy? I was thinking about doing stand up, and I'm
this
writing
is
my
after 9/11? Yeah.
autobiography, and then yeah, after 9/11, I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, are jokes that important? And then one day the first joke really came to me, it seems, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course, we're human beings. Does Israel find anything funny after lunch? Yeah, there's shit all the time. You got to live and breathe. But yes, I was one of those people that's like, is anything fucking funny?
Yeah. I think it's so easy to get in that head, and then if you don't get yourself out of it, then you just stay there. Yeah, of course.
Right.
You can think Either way, is anything funny? Nothing's funny. You could just keep living like nothing's funny.
Right. But when you're at a bar, everybody's acting strange. Everybody's doing something weird. How aren't you on edge?
That's where you love the double fisters. I know where both your hands are.
Right. Right. Somebody at this bowling alley place that had a bunch of games. It was just a fun night playing cornhole. It's the last thing you're expecting, right? Yeah. But you know what? And then I bet, here's the kicker. I'm doing good at cornhole. Then there's the shooting. Then when we finally get the cornhole going again, I bet they don't count that day. And it's like, I don't want to sound petty, but I was doing pretty good on cornhole that day. Can you check the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it did happen.
Doing pretty good in being petty.
So we just ignored the fucking game that we were all playing, and I was doing pretty well. Okay. All right. Reading a story here in South Korea. A man had died of a heart attack after choking on, quote, a live octopus dish with wriggling tentacles that was served as a local delicacy. So they're saying they actually killed the octopus, but the tentacles are still moving when you eat it. And so this guy, 82-year-old, he died. He choked on it.
Okay, let's go back to mass shootings.
Right.
Holy shit.
I'm an adventurous eater. And maybe if you found me in a weird country and no one was looking, maybe I'd eat dog if everybody did. But I'm not eating moving food. I saw some Asian country, they're eating literal alive, what looks like cockroaches. I'm like, how don't you think that's moving or crawling up your neck?
You know what? I don't even want to feel the food going down my throat while it's not alive. Okay. Right. I can feel where it is, and if you're older and you have like situations, it gets stuck in certain places. Like, I don't want to know where my food is. Now it's crawling back up. It's choking me in my own fucking, I just ate you. No, I eat you. What? No. It's laying eggs maybe. I don't know where it's at in its fucking system and how long the system. I don't know how that works. No.
We all see these stories like a man felt something in his ear. He went to the doctor. There are 3 spiders in there. That happens by accident. Don't be putting live shit in your body deliberately.
I get it. Fucking having to eat 3 times a day. Holy shit. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Okay. We ate that yesterday. It doesn't matter. Well, I made a whole lasagna. Yeah. Now I got to eat a whole lasagna for the next fucking week and a half. All right. I get it. Food can get boring and expensive, but holy shit. I don't know. Get a good burrito. I swear it could be good.
He was later pronounced dead at a hospital. Was he choking on the way to the hospital? Then they look in his throat and they see the squirming fucking tentacle. They say octopus are very smart. Maybe it was revenge.
Maybe it was trying to, I'm sorry, I'm going to get gross, but maybe it was trying to come out and it was blocking, because you're trying to like push it down and it's going, I'm not going down, which means it's blocking your airways. It's not getting to the part where you can keep breathing and swallowing. It's trying to get back to the place it just came from because that was freedom.
The guy tried to take a shit and that ink squirted out his asshole.
Oh my God.
I don't think that's true, but I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't care. These are all, and I know for the last 5 minutes, we've been talking about like how food works and how octopussies, that's what I'm going to call them now, octopussies work. And it's probably not true, but are you really that out of ideas? That should be the poll. Are you that out of ideas for lunch today?
Still squirming octopus seasoned with salt and sesame oil is among the nation's most notorious delicacies. This is South Korea. The good one, the good Korea. Before the latest case, several other people died in similar fashions. Sannakji has been described as among the world's most dangerous foods. Sannakji translates to live octopus, but the octopus is killed before serving. You're not dead if you're moving. I've said that for years. If you're moving, you're not dead. You've heard like, somebody gets their head cut off, but something's going on where maybe they can talk for a second. Their eyes are still moving. I don't look at that person and go, don't worry, he's dead. Don't let it creep you out.
Oh my God. I feel like you save these shows just for me.
Yeah, I don't want to skeeve out the guests, and we didn't have a guest today. So
okay, thank you. That's so nice.
You get all these now.
Holy shit! By the way, you definitely would eat dog.
I would.
If you were in a country where, because not to be all creepy about it, and I don't think people will agree with my understanding of
Sure.
this, but it's not people's pets. It's like they grow chickens, they grow dogs
Right.
that are grown for, and it is a different breed. But
And me not eating it isn't going to change the landscape. So I'd eat it.
I mean, one could argue that
One
because if
would.
everyone, yeah.
One little simpleton would, sure.
Oh,
And I would
great.
give a fuck. Yeah, if we all do it, okay. We can't get everybody to vote.
Speaking of Mimi Cherry chiming in again, if you're moving, you're not dead. Keith Malley for president.
That's true. That's basic science, as far as I'm concerned. One would argue you are dead. I argue you're not. If you're farting, you're still alive, as far as I'm concerned.
By the way, no judgment on you eating dog. I think I decided I'm not eating anything out of the animals that are already set in my system. And not because they're smarter or dumber, because I don't know, pigs are smart and the octopus is smart, and I'm not doing that math. I think it's because everything just tastes like chicken and I don't want it in my mouth. I think it's just, remember we had alligator in Florida,
Sure.
and the problem is while I'm eating it, I'm like, what does it taste like? Am I grossed out? And by the time I swallowed, I'm like, I guess it was chicken. I don't know. So it's wasted on me. It's wasted because I'm too conscious of what I'm eating. And then it tastes like not what it actually is because I can't get out of my head about it. So I'm done. Chicken.
Right. I think the things we don't eat really are just tough. Like kangaroo isn't really good. Alligator's not really good. I bet your dog isn't really good.
Yeah. Yeah,
I bet we tell ourselves you'd be an animal to eat that. No, we tried it. It's pretty fucking tough.
Yeah, I bet if alligator was actually good, I bet if dog was actually good, we would fucking get over ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
It is funny though when they tell you how smart pigs are. I just see them rolling in mud like fucking morons. Is that okay to say?
No, I mean, dogs are rolling in their own shit.
Octopuses are so smart, Keith. An octopus never ate me. Now they got this guy, but an octopus never killed me.
Ryan V. Keith, what? I didn't know that dog. Who cares?
Hey, I mean, is it like Snoopy or Lassie or something? I mean, they don't put a picture of the dog right next to the food. I don't know.
Well, Mimi's voting for me. Everything tastes like chicken. Chemda for global ambassador.
There you go. I'm reading about a con man that faked having a heart attack in 20 restaurants at least to avoid paying the bill.
All right. You know what? Dinner theater. You are forgiven. I did like you just read so much shit. You should have started with this, okay?
Right.
This guy's an angel. I don't give a shit. Because
fun.
if you're willing to go out of your fucking way to go, oh my God, and then you have to like wait for the ambulance or some shit.
Right.
I don't know what is in your skits and bits, but that sounds exhausting. And I'd rather go work and come back and pay you money. So okay, good on you.
After the restaurants talk to each other and we have pictures of this guy and he comes in. First of all, I look like so many people. So they did have pictures of this guy, but I'm like, a lot of people look like this guy. But if it was my restaurant, and I'm like, that's the fucking guy. Yeah, serve him. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone get your cameras ready.
I'll tip my employee. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we tell the other customers, like, keep an eye on that table in the corner. It's gonna get nuts. Don't worry, he's fine. It's gonna get crazy.
I would genuinely like to see knowing that it's fake, so I don't have to go through the, oh my God, somebody might be, really having trouble.
Right.
Just knowing that it's fake and going like, oh, you clutched the wrong side. All right, your heart's over there. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, you caught on. All right, you're back on the right side. Just like watching that kind of, like I said, dinner theater. Oh,
I'd have a little packet
Tony and
ready.
Tina's wetting my butt.
Yeah,
This is great.
I'd have a little I'll put the face on the website, but it kind of looks like you can guess if that's okay to say. I'd have a little folder packet ready, and it has his picture and his crimes and maybe even family information. And I give it to each table, like, it's gonna happen. You're in for a lucky day.
At no extra charge.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're gonna add a tip for that mandatorily, but you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna enjoy. Let's see here. His name is Aidas J, Aidas. He's in Spain. He scammed at least 20 restaurants. During his performance, he would fall to the floor and clutch his chest in fake agony.
Okay. Was
It
he
doesn't
with
seem
anyone?
worth it. He's going to get
That's
hurt
what I'm
for real.
That's what I'm saying. To throw my body on the ground, you have it. You know, if I own a restaurant, you come in, you fake your death. All right.
It was very theatrical. He pretended to faint and slumped himself down on the floor. What's the end game? An ambulance?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? Do you have to ride in the ambulance? Do you ask them to pull over and go, I'm good, and then just like run out?
Right. And by the way, a heart attack isn't my fault. Maybe if you choked, somehow that's me to blame. But a heart attack? What the fuck did I do? I don't know, you shit.
Well, a heart attack, you're busy.
My fat got to you immediately?
Now, I wonder if he looks at the check and then has a heart attack, or if it's different timing in different places, you know, like while he's eating. Is it usually on his last bite? Is that a weird coincidence, you know?
Wait till he sees the hospital bill. That's a heart attack. It was very theatrical. He pretended to faint, slumped himself down on the floor. And then what? And then he gets up, is like, okay, I'm okay, just dizzy. I'm going to go home.
Right.
And
no,
then
you
somebody
can't.
And somebody knew about him and they blocked the doors. So like, no, you pay. We heard about you.
But you can't have a heart attack and then not pay your bill. You can't, because you're still there.
He literally crawls out. He's like, oh, I just need some air.
Chef's kiss. That's perfect.
Adis even requested medical attention for his fake heart problems and was only found out because he tried to skit twice at the same place. El Buen Corner.
Oh, you were so good. For how many restaurants? 20?
At least 20, yeah.
You idiot. You traumatized everybody. They're going to remember you.
He's like, God damn, the food was so good there, though.
Right. Well, he's in Spain. Did he run out of restaurants? What happened?
What if he realizes, like, he falls on the floor? He's like, I recognize this tile. Oh, shit.
He didn't have the right spreadsheet open.
I've been here before. Another restaurant worker said he laid down on the floor, acted as if his chest hurt, and began to shake. As part of his act, Adis dresses in designer clothes, according to local police, and pretends to be a Russian tourist who doesn't speak Spanish.
Smart.
The manager of El Buen Corner sent Adis' picture to other restaurants in the area to warn them and stop the con man from striking again.
Gorgeous. You know what? I was giving him a pass until the way he got caught was going to a restaurant twice. Right. Why do you have to go to the vault? You're already, you know what I mean? Like, why? Right. It's how good is steak? Well, steak is the best. Okay, let's just be clear. But how good is that restaurant sauce? I mean, well, now give away the restaurant name because I want to go there.
Right. El Buen Corner. Yeah, we got to check this out.
It's muy bueno.
I'm like, I sit down. I'm like, oh, my knee hurts. And the manager comes over. He's like, you shut your mouth right now. Get the fuck out. Your knee hurts. Get out of here. Another restaurant owner targeted by Adis said he had ordered several glasses of expensive whiskey, a Russian salad, and a main dish such as lobster before the fake heart attack. However, they say his bills were about $15 to $75 each, totaling maybe $1,000 American dollars.
No, now I'm
even that
so
much.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's always alone, which was nice of him, you know, like, don't go with someone, whether they know or not. I don't want to fake it with you, and I don't want to be faked out by that. But, oh, you you're just getting dumber and dumber. I thought you were brilliant for a second.
He was only given, it seems like, 2 fines. Now, I don't know if they were adding things up, or it sounds like they're adding things up if they know the total amount that he owed. But he got 2 fines. He refused to pay them. He is now in jail for 42 days.
Wow, he had all the outs.
And if he doesn't have a heart attack during prison food, then he probably gets even more time, because then he's definitely guilty.
Well, he should have had a heart attack when he got sentenced.
Right.
And by the way, when they fined him, they should have known he wasn't paying.
Right.
They're fining him for not paying.
His crime spree went on for 2 months, during which he was arrested several times, but let go because he only owed such a small amount to each restaurant.
Okay. Well, good on you, Spain. You know,
right.
Like, I feel like we would have been like, this guy has to die, you know, because we're so mad at so many other things that make more sense that we let it out on some like guy we can throw around. I mean, that just got to be a sad. It started so entertaining, but that's a sad
Yeah,
story.
it's
42
something.
days. That's about the time you were scamming restaurants. Oh,
And then he gets
learn
in
how to
trouble with
cook.
somebody with a prisoner in jail. And he's the boy who cried wolf now. He can't have
Mm,
real heart attacks. He can't be in real pain. Yeah, you can
right.
do whatever you want to this guy in jail.
Mm.
It's like, oh, this guy is, yeah, I doubt it. Go
Oh,
back to your cell. Hey, here's a cheese sandwich. You gonna be okay, Adis? Yeah, I'm gonna be okay, you sons of bitches. No
what a
worries.
s- what a skit you put together for him.
Thank you. KeithandTheGirl.com/awards. Be sure you drop a line in there. It's a lot of fun. The forums are fun in general. Same thing with Reddit. The chat room, by the way, very fun yesterday. They cheated in poker this time around. I
Oh
guess
my
everybody
God, I
got
got
together.
fourth place. I hate when I do well right up front. I
But
I was doing so great. I knocked a couple people out. I always feel bad when I knock people out, but obviously not so bad. Knocked a couple people out.
they don't.
Now I have double, triple what everybody else has, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose because that was just dumb luck, and I am not this good at poker.
It is funny when people play poker and they just want to play poker as opposed to chat too much. And if when they're out early and they go, "Oh, I gotta go," it's like, well, that worked out that somebody took you out because you gotta go. That worked out. I was out the first hand this time. I'm like,
Oh,
gotta go.
no.
Rick was on to me. Rick knew my bullshit.
Ah, yeah.
So every Wednesday, KeithandTheGirl.com/chat. Be sure to say hi. And again, interact on the forums. It's so fun. It's half the fun of the show is interacting, I think. That's everything. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and we're still live. So let me
We're
just
still
look
live.
at, yeah, that's fun. Let's say. So fun having glasses.
Yeah.
Give him an Oscar. This is such an unserious story until it got serious, didn't it, Mimi? Uh, oh, and Bucho says Chemda's thing about action movies was pure gold, but I was driving when I heard it, so I couldn't note down the episode number and timestamps and figured someone else would definitely do the nomination. Now that I know it's all up to me, I will never drive again. Thank you, Bucho. Thank you. All right, you guys, hit all the buttons in front of you. Man, it is good to see your names. I see the
Yeah.
regulars, and I am reading your stuff as we go along. You'll see me sort of like looking at the corner of my eye. I'm reading. You guys are so fun and funny. Thanks for being a Keith and the girl, whatever. Oh man. I hope you have a whatever weekend you'd like to have. I don't want to piss Keith off right before we go.
Oh, somebody wrote me an email like, yeah, I hate it too. I can't say why, but don't tell me I have the greatest fucking week.
Hey, I hope you live in